Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's my favorite time of the year because we're halfway through of 2022, so it's now to do my top 5 best and top 5 worst movies of 2022 so far. Now, I must say, I've been very impressed. We've had some decent, great, and I would say spectacular horror movies that have come out so far this year. And unfortunately, we've also had some poor, disappointing, and downright awful horror movies that have come out so far this year. So, of course, I'm going to start off with the bad first. So, here are my top 5 worst horror films of 2022 so far. Let's see, coming in at number 5, we will have Uma. Yes, Uma, starring Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy fame. Yeah, she plays a character of Korean American who has obviously issues with her mother, but this plays more like a Lifetime film and is really nothing horror or scary about it at all. I mean, the Lifetime movies I've seen people watch, they have more tension and suspense than this one here. I have nothing against Sandra. Oh, I'm pretty sure she's a good actress, but this is a terrible project. Bad movie, nothing frightening, nothing sustaining at all. So coming in at number 5 is Uma. Okay, coming in at number 4, we have Student Body. Yes, Student Body. Yes, Haley Quinn Smith, Kevin Smith's daughter, is in this one. And if you want to talk about a bad slasher film, this one is it. Most of the kills happen off screen, and when they do, they doesn't seem that threatening or that fascinating. Again, very underdeveloped characters. What can you say? So coming in at number 4 is Student Body. Coming in at number 3, we have the latest interpretation of Texas Chainsaw. I don't know what the filmmakers were doing with this one. This is supposed to be a direct sequel to the 1974 The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This one is just called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I don't know what they were trying to do here. First of all, you have a huge continuity problem because in this one, for some reason, he's no longer on the Sawyer farm. He's in this orphanage. And then we have Alice Krieg, who plays a mother figure of Leatherface. And then, oh boy, what is this? You want to do something with Sally's character? Bring Sally's character back, a la Halloween 2018, and then. Oh boy, it's just an insult. Like I said, with continuity issues, an insult to bringing back a legacy character like Sally from the original film, and then you have all these characters who are so unlikable. I mean, nobody is likable. Good kills, good gore. That's one good thing about this film, but terrible film. So coming in at number 3 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Coming in at number 2 is the latest bad shark film starring Alicia Silverstone. It's called The Requiem. Now, if you want to see one of the absolute worst green screen effects, this film is it. Her and her husband, they decide to go out to this vacation resort. They ignore all the warnings, and then their little hut gets tossed out to sea, and all of a sudden they have to survive. And of course, we have sharks. Now, if I understand correctly, if I got this right, it's supposed to actually use real footage of sharks intertwined with what was happening to Alicia Silverstone and her husband, but that effect was ruined. And then some terrible green screen effects. Alicia Silverstone is just, oh, I don't know what happened to her. Terrible movie, bad green screen effects. Coming in number 2 is The Requiem. And finally, the number 1 worst horror film of the year so far, and I also would say disappointing, would have to be Firestarter. Yes, Firestarter, the remake of the Stephen King film that came out, I think in 1980, that starred Drew Barrymore and George C. Scott. I don't know what they were trying to do here, but Zac Efron and I forget the girl's name that played Charlie. There's no very little character development. They actually only have one scene in the film where they actually had developed some character development. The girl that plays Charlie, she's a nice looking girl, but that's it. I give them credit for casting an actual Native American in the role. In the role of John Rainbird, they actually cast a Native American in that role, unlike what they did with George C. Scott. But the guy, does nothing, and I don't blame him. It's just the script is terrible. And I heard people think they can actually call him Michael Myers. It's terrible, terrible film. Very disappointing. Lackluster script, lackluster special effects. I mean, and don't even care about the R rating because the only thing that does is allow Gloria Rubin, who plays a gender swap of the bad guy in the film, to say a couple F word, throw a couple F bombs, and then that's it. I don't even want to talk about the ending. So far, the worst horror film of 2022 so far is Firestarter. And now let's get on with the top five best horror films that have come out so far in 2022. I'm going to start with number five will be the movie Fresh. Yes, Fresh stars Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones. She plays a woman who is just trying to find someone to date. She tries the online dating that turns out to be a disaster. She's in shopping. She meets Sebastian Stan's character. They hit it off fine. She obviously makes the mistake by deciding to go with him on the weekend. The next we know, his true nature appears, and it turns out that he's got this weird fetish or this weird thing about women. And I won't go any further because I don't want to ruin the movie for everybody. Great chemistry for the two leads in the film. Sebastian Stan is excellent in this film. It's actually showing that he has a range in the actor, so he's no longer confused to be just Bucky from the MCU. Obviously, a very satisfying ending. So, number five is Fresh. Coming in at number four, came out this year. It seems so long ago, but I'm going to go with Scream. Yes, Scream or Scream 6, if you want to call it. Yes, I like what they did here. We have some new characters in it. Yes, they did bring back the legacy characters of Dewey, Gale, and Sydney. We know that there's going to be another Scream that's already in pre-production, and there's obviously there's talk. I mean, the whole internet went on a buzz because Nev Campbell's not returning back in the Scream, and that's another whole conversation for another day. But I did enjoy Scream. I did love what they attempt to do. We also got this new the phrase called requels. So coming in at number four is Scream. Coming in at number three is The Sadness. Now, if you ever want to see the glorious zombie picture, I wouldn't call it zombie picture because they're not actual zombies, but if you ever want to see the glorious infected virus film, yes, this is The Sadness, and not just because of the premise. It's just that what these people do and their reaction, what they do when they do it. But they don't care. They can't help themselves. All types of depravity, all types of crazies going on. Excellent film. Like I said, if you gorehounds love some gore, you're going to love The Sadness. So coming in at number three is The Sadness. Coming in at number two. Now, this actually probably would have been my number one film. I have not seen my new number one film, which I'm pretty sure everyone probably know what it is, would have been X, but it's number two. And it was a great horror film. Obviously, you get Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. It's based in the 70s. Mia Goth is excellent in this film. We also had Brittany Snow. She's excellent in this film as well. Obviously, Mia Goth is excellent in this film. Like I said, the main villain, the woman Pearl. We're going to have a prequel of Pearl later on this year. Mia Goth will also play that character in Pearl. But this is a very good horror film, very good slasher film, very good, some great kills, some great practical effects in here. It was my number one horror film this year until I saw my new number one horror film this weekend. But coming in at number two is X. And of course, my number one best horror film of the year so far. I just saw it over the weekend. It is The Black Phone. Yes. I truly love this film. Ethan Hawke is wonderful as the grabber. We had some excellent combination. We had some excellent chemistry between the two leads, Finney and Gwen. You truly believe that they're brother and sister, and they stick up for each other. Some great combination with the drama and the horror elements of the film, and how the spirits tried to help Finney escape from the grabber. Fantastic horror film. If you have not seen it yet, you will love it. That is why it is my best number one film so far this year when it comes to horror. And so there you have it. Those are my top five worst and top five best horror films of 2022. Obviously, we have some more films coming up. Obviously, we have Hope, Nope, that's coming out this year. Obviously, Halloween Ends. That's coming out this year. There's some other horror films that I haven't seen yet. I know some people talk about Men. I think something called The Genius. I can't remember. I know it was a David Cronenberg film. I know Jen and Christian, they reviewed it. I have not seen that film yet, so I couldn't put this on my list. I wanted to see The Black Phone first because I heard some good things about it, so I wanted to see that before I created this list. Because normally I create this list at least by the third week of June, but because The Black Phone came out late, I have to watch that first to see if I was going to add it onto my list, and that's why I added it onto my list. So horror fans, what are your best and worst horror films so far this year? Please leave it in the comment section below and tell me what you think are your best and worst horror films so far this year. And there you have it. That's my video for the day, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share because it does help out with that YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. I'm out.